So I think a lot of people are looking at crypto the wrong way. And what I mean by that is they think that things have to be mutually exclusive. If ADA isn't pumping on this news, it means that it's broken. It's not going to an all-time high. If we don't pump across the crypto market by this date, it means there's no alt season. And that could not be further from the truth. And I want to actually do this video a little bit different. There's a couple community questions and concerns that I want to bring up and show people because you may have actually the same questions and concerns that these people do. So we're going to break this down and squash a lot of this uncertainty. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So this is the first time that we're doing this. So we're gonna hopefully make it through this just fine. But what we're looking at right now is a lot of conviction in terms of ADA. I keep talking about this. ADA has a very strong community and it has for cycles. This is why it continues to set new all-time highs cycle after cycle. And people are definitely concerned about an all-time high in this cycle. Not all people. I'm not concerned about it. I think it's happening 100%. Now, obviously, there's no guarantees. Nobody knows what's going to happen for sure. But, a lot of people have been posing questions like this. So this is from Raccoon ATC. And he said, the fact that ADA price doesn't react to news like NASA, ETF, etc., means price is decoupled. Sorry, it's really small on my screen. Decoupled from use cases. It will never reach all-time high. I will be stuck with my bag forever. A friend of mine bought XRP and laughed at me buying ADA back in 2019. I brought the same arguments as you guys: fully decentralized, super stable, fast, innovative. It all means crap if you go broke holding it. So this is actually a very good thing to discuss because, first of all, looking back at 2019, ADA's outperformed XRP since 2019 by every stretch of the imagination. If you bought ADA at any point in 2019, you're up at least a 10x. Okay. It was floating around the 4 cent to 9 cent range. 4 cent to 7 cent range. And you're outperforming XRP because XRP, since that same amount of time, is only up, less than a 10x. Okay. Now, this isn't a, poke a stick at XRP or anything like that. But the point I'm trying to make is, context is very important. So yes, you have actually made a better decision by holding ADA since 2019 than XRP since 2019. But what I find kind of interesting is, people get a lot of this recency bias and they don't actually pay attention to what ADA's doing at certain points in time. I have a really good memory. All right. This isn't to, pat my own back or anything like that, but I remember exactly how this cycle has broke down. Okay, not reacting to ETF news, that's BS. It 100% did. It happened actually back here on Tuesday. What was it? Tuesday, February 11th. And what we actually saw was ADA go on a 15% run in a single day. So yes, ADA did react to the ETF news. It was the best performer in the market at that point, I believe. And what we were actually showing was a lot of stability in terms of ADA up in those price ranges. The only thing that brought us back down to some of these lower lows was the Bybit hack that took place on February 24th. Not reacting to NASA news. That's BS as well. It actually was taking place right in the midst of this pump. It actually happened, I believe, on the 24th, 25th, 26th, somewhere in here. And ADA was going on a nice run. The only problem was that the market wasn't conducive for pumps. It wasn't conducive for breakouts. You remember, the entire crypto market at this time was just kind of trending sideways. It was there was nothing going on, right? And then eventually, it was one of the reasons why, ADA went on a nice run, is because fundamentals were good, because there was good news taking place. Unfortunately for ADA, a lot of its good news has happened at times where the market has not been conducive for pumps, for breakouts. If you guys remember, we were getting good news on this whole string of downtrend across the crypto market. And unfortunately, every time ADA was trying to make a break or had an announcement of good news, there was something that basically counteracted that. No, that's not ADA reacting in a poor way to good news. It's the market just frankly not being in a great spot at that point in time. I do want to point out the fact that ADA did in fact go on a nice pump when we had the announcement surrounding the crypto strategic reserve. And in fact, of those reserve assets, ADA was the best performer. It ran almost 100% in a single day. So yeah, ADA is reacting to good news. And I would say that the more good news ADA has, the better, because it's helping it, again, confirm that foundational strength like we have been talking about. And hopefully that addresses any concerns relating to that. But here's another one that I thought was kind of interesting. These influencers for months on a daily basis has you believing the market will turn around any day now. The cycle is different, and we may not see a true alt season. The market will continue trending sideways till April 2nd, which is the tariff deadline. Depending on what happens, we either will see an alt season or we don't. It's looking more and more like the cycle is dead and we won't see the gains we'd hoped. So first of all, I'm not an influencer. I don't influence crap. I don't tell people to do anything. I merely bring you guys information so you can make an educated decision. I find Cardano and ADA an incredible, I find it interesting. All right. Because Cardano is doing something very different from the rest of the space. And ADA has an interesting level of conviction that you don't see in assets throughout the crypto market. I've been talking about Cardano and ADA before I even held ADA. Okay. And I've accumulated during that time. I bought in the depths of the bear market cycle, like we talked about way back at that point in 2023. And what has really been happening is Cardano has been building strength and gaining ground. And no, during these times, this isn't any confirmation or anything like that we're not going to have this big alt season breakout like we've been talking about. The biggest thing we need to start seeing is we do need to start seeing this capital that's in the space re-enter the space. This is something that apparently just continues to fall on deaf ears. And for whatever reason, people are not recognizing the fact that we're waiting for basically a trigger across the market, whatever that may be, whether that's just the market maker sending the price, whether it's an event, whatever it may be, to trigger this capital that's sitting on the sidelines in the space currently to start re-entering the market and causing this total market cap breakout. So first of all, we're doing exactly what we've done every market cycle. I made a video about this the other day. You can check back on it if you want, but this breakout and retest is not a new thing. We did this back here in 2021. We did this back here in 2017. Breakout, retest, right? Breakout, retest. It's not an uncommon thing. And this is what eventually leads us to that breakout that creates adoption. Because adoption is what truly brings us into this major alt season. For a little bit of context, alt season is just defined as where 90% of the top 100 assets are outperforming BTC over the last 90 days. And we have, in fact, seen that take place. I think what most people are referring to as alt season is up only season. It's a time where the entire market, large caps, small caps, are all just going on these insane parabolic runs, and it seems like there's no slowdown. And yes, that time will come, but a big part of that is, in fact, adoption. And we've been at these times where some of the macro data has not been the greatest, where there's these big, loud tariff announcements, where we're going through exchange hacks, we're going through large liquidation events. And unfortunately, those times are not conducive for adoption to take place. Remember, people don't necessarily buy at the lows, especially people outside the space that are looking at the crypto market from the top down, right? Us here currently, we buy during dips because we know where the market's headed. We know we're headed towards mass adoption. We understand that it's taking time to get there, but the big crypto embrace is taking place, right? It's why you're seeing institutional players embrace it. It's why you're seeing this big government embrace. That stuff is going to eventually bring us into an insane boom in the crypto market. But it's all about being patient and sitting through some of these times that maybe aren't so fun. Understand that the harder it is, the more rewarding it is. All right. And, that's obviously not a guarantee. Nobody knows what's going to happen for sure. But you're being tested in this market cycle unlike any other test we have seen before. We know there's massive manipulation going on, and we understand why. It's because the large entities want to win. They're trying to suppress the market. They're trying to pick up their positions while price is cheap so that they're prepared for when the insane parabolic runs happen. So the biggest thing I can stress is just be patient. Stop complaining. Stop whining. I'm not your therapist. All right. If you want to comment and express your concerns and speak to the forum, that's great, right? Get it out. Do what you need to do. Don't try to beat me up. I'm just here giving you guys the information. And I understand that people haven't necessarily been through what mass adoption looks like before. They don't understand how the market cycles work. But yes, I will repeat, we're doing the same thing we've always done. We're waiting for adoption to take place. And when it does happen, that is when the major booms start happening in the crypto market. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the format of this video, and maybe I'll do this more as time goes on. But have a great day. Share your love below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.